I didn't have any trouble coming to Hollywood because I was born here, and I'm a third generation Los Angelino, and my great-grandfather had the first theater in Los Angeles, and my mother's side of the family are all opera singers, so as far as show business, I was kind of around it all my life. And as far as getting into pictures, I fell into it by accident, and I was going to try to be a singer because the rest of the family were, and my mother kept thinking hiding under there somewhere has to be a voice because everybody on my mother's side were. So anyway, I was studying with a fellow called a Sacher, who also happened to be Deanna Durbin's coach. And he finally said, Bobby, why don't we go see what a voice should sound like, meaning as opposed to mine. So we went out to the studio, and it was Deanna Durbin who was there singing One Fine Day from Butterfly. And I was listening to her and thinking, that's a lovely voice. And a guy called Joe Pasternak walked up, and he said, how would you like to be in pictures? I looked around, there was nobody behind me. I said, who, me? He said, yes, you. We make a little test, you and Helen Parrish. Cute little girl, lovely figure. Little love scene. I said, sounds good to me. And that's how I got into pictures. I hate telling that story because it makes it sound so easy. And it was just, again, the thing Jimmy Stewart said, a matter of luck. And out of that, I wound up playing a Prince Charming character opposite her Cinderella, and that was the beginning, I don't know what, so that's the way it began.
So yours isn't like most of the people that we've interviewed and talked about. Yours isn't a rags to riches story at all. You didn't have that oh God, if I get dropped, they'll send me back to Sandusky.
No, that never happened with me. There is a driving force to it. Chuck Heston put it best, 'cause when people always ask, what should I do about my daughter or my son, they want to be an actor or an actress, or they want to be a stuntman or whatever. And the answer always is, they want to be an actor or actress? That's right. That's not good enough. Do they have to be an actor? Then say yes. Because the inequities and all the other things, because if you want to, it usually is for all the wrong reasons. I want to see my name in lights. I want to be, I can go to Macombo, as you say, and dance all night. But if you have that drive, whether you're poor or rich or anything else, to put up with the indignities and the humiliations and the tragedies, if you will, of the profession, then go ahead and do it, because it's a strange business, but it's a never land, you know. It can either be, didn't you used to be somebody? Or it can be, I loved your last movie. You know, it can go either way.
Robert Mitchum said to me that behind every great actress were 30 people putting her together. And he talked about how they'd turn to him and they'd say, okay, here's the raincoat. He also said that someone said to him, this year we're selling bologna and you're it. You're the brand we're selling. So tell me about the women when you were first starting out. Were they as grand as everyone says? I mean, in that circle of Judy Garland and Lana Turner, the people who aren't even around anymore, Linda Darnell, how extraordinary were they?
Well, they were seen, if you remember the motion pictures of those days, they were run by old robber barons, you know, whether it was Harry Cohn or Louis B. Mayer or Zanuck or any of the others, and they idealized America through their eyes. Many of them came from Middle Europe, many of them were Jewish, many of them had a concept of America that was a little bit grander in many ways than America really was. The same thing was true, of course, of the movie stars. They made them more beautiful than they were, and there were people who were, you know, Carole, these wonderful photographers who could take somebody not that beautiful and make them into something magnificent. And it was a time of the movie star. In fact, they once had a thing called a compo tour, where they took the actors and they were supposed to go around the country and show the general populace that they were just like they were. It was the stupidest idea they ever had, because the populace didn't want to see movie stars look exactly like they were. They wanted them to be godlike. They wanted them to look like Lana Turner, like Vivien Leigh, and all the rest of it. So it was a world apart. It was a kind of a... Carole Lombard put it best, I think. She said it was a club then. And you were very happy to be invited to the party. And they would take a little girl and make her into something ravishing. You know, that was the whole thing. to make you, in many cases, removed from the normal pace of life into this never, never land of glory and glamour and movie star.
Do you think the women succumbed to that more, to that Hollywood state of mind once they became stars?
Oh yeah, I imagine you tend to believe it. The temptation is the story of Gable, which I think when I first had the idea of trying to become an actor, we were at the Duck Lodge one night, and the guys had gone to bed, and he said, you know, sit down, I want to talk to you for a minute. And he brought a bottle of White McKay scotch, and we had a couple of drinks. He said, there's a rumor going around, you're going to try to be an actor. I said, yeah, I thought I'd give it a shot, Clark. He said, we're going to lose a great shot and wind up with a lousy actor. He said, all right, look, forget that. You're going to be an actor. You're going to be one thing. You're going to be a pro, a professional. Show up on time. Know your lines. Don't screw up the author's intent. And if you ever become a thing, a word I hate called a celebrity, you ever use that celebrity to push people around and make them unhappy, I'm going to kick you right in the butt. And that was the behavior then, you know? And the drugs, the only drugs that anybody really ever saw then were musicians. They all died too young. They probably drank too much. I think Gable lived to be 59 and Cooper lived to be 60, and nobody lived much beyond that time frame. It was fast and furious and larger than life, but an exciting time, and it was a club. And if you were lucky enough to belong, it was a different time frame. Now it's corporate structure and a whole lot of other stuff, bottom line. And of course, the actors were under the paterfamilia of these people who run the studios. Like they talk about Schwarzenegger making $20 million a movie. Gable didn't make that much money all of his life. And there were ups and downs. And after Gable did a couple of flops like Parnell, the only one who said goodbye to him at MGM was Eddie, the cop at the gate. So, and they wouldn't, for instance, the only reason that Gary Cooper got High Noon is because Jimmy Stewart turned it down, because it was, you know, the stories of success are wrapped up in luck, confusion, and a touch of madness.